Hello everybody, Sergeant Soul Tuner back with Brick and Rust, and today we're looking at bugs and exploits after DevBlog 92. Now some of the bug fixes were listed in the DevBlog, a lot of people know about those, but however there are still some that weren't addressed and that players are starting to discover on their own. Some of the ones featured here are ones that weren't addressed in the DevBlog, and either A, were told about it, or B, it was a Reddit post posted and I said, ooh, I need to put that in this video, etc, etc, etc. So starting off, first we have Biter Snap House. Unfortunately, it no longer works. And I don't think the intended fix was because of the Snap House. I think the intended fix was actually being able to build underground. But unfortunately, Biter Snap House was the unintended victim of that. So sadly, goodbye Snap House. Biter, if you're watching this, please get a hold of me. We'll figure out a way to get the Snap House or a different version of the Snap House working again for you guys, because I know all of the viewers and whatnot, they really love the Snap House, and we definitely got to bring that back. So moving on, first and foremost, we have the soft side picking. If I can get it right. Yes, first try. It still works. For all of you that are raiders or streamers that like using this, have no fear, it still works. Go two more. One more. Also, what still works, if I can do it, picking the other side of a door frame, the soft side of the door frame, through the corner here. Still works just as easily. Also, they haven't changed how the door frame or the window act by picking the soft side. They're still just as weak as they used to be. So window, bam bam, look at that. And then as well as the low wall, half wall. Alright, next we have the chest. Nothing different about the chest. However, the chest makes it easy to look at the lazy aim. They fixed the lazy aim. It's gone. So now when you make very, very tiny movements left and right, the gun doesn't twitch and leave the camera in the center. The camera moves with it. That's a change that I really like, by the way. It's one that I was really thinking that should be changed with the game, and I'm glad they did it. However, that being said, people are now going to exploit it. They're going to put a piece of tape over their monitor with a Sharpie and put a dot over that white dot beneath open, and they're then going to be able to hip fire with that dot and get kills a lot easier. Now, I don't have it because I'm not going to exploit like that. I'm not going to ruin my monitor either. But there are still going to be some people that do it. So that's the unintended side effect, I think, of taking lazy aim out. Fortunately, it just is the way it is. Next, we have the furnace. And the inventory for the furnace overlaps your inventory. I know this is going to be temporary. It's going to be a very, very short-term problem. However, it still at least deserves to be in the video because it is still a bug. As well as the inventory for the campfire. Does the same exact thing. Moving over here, we have the new rocks for the procedural generation. I think these rocks look amazing. And they're very, very well done. I like how random they are. It's not the same rock over and over and over again like it used to be. Like, a lot of these rocks look completely different from the one next to it. However, that being said, there do tend to be a lot of overhangs like this. My frame's just dropped. And that could be problems for a lot of people because the overhangs are what makes it really easy to get into the rocks and make a base. So just like on a vanilla server, you take a sleeping bag, you put it on top of the... Wait a minute. Oh! Face Punch set it up so that you can't put a sleeping bag under an overhang when it's at a certain distance. This basically fixes the easiest way to get into rocks on vanilla servers. That being said, though, it's not completely impossible. You can still put a sleeping bag under here, but with the positioning of the sleeping bag, you're basically always going to stand up right here instead of going into the rock. So if that was an intended fix, great job, devs. That was the one fix that a lot of people have been asking for forever. If it was an unintended fix, hey, we'll take it. So moving on, just because it's fixed for vanilla servers doesn't mean that it's fixed for modded. It still does work. So turn my chat on, go to rock. And I know that it's because of a mod and the developers can't fix that, etc, etc, etc. I get it. Don't need to be reminded. However, it's still an exploit and people are still going to want to know, is it still possible? Do I still have to be on the lookout for this? Yes, it is still possible. With these overhangs, it is even more possible now because overhangs are very, very common. So as you see here, I am inside of a rock. Yeah, this isn't an overhang. This is the inside of a rock. You can tell because the insides of rocks are not textured. They look like garbage. So if I clip down this way a little bit. There we go. You can see the overhang. I have the foundation placed basically almost inside of it. And the way that I did this was I started with the foundation down there. I set my home on it, removed it, and then built another foundation on top of that. And then because I used my /home, it pushed me up into the next foundation. So that part, it still works. However, that's something that might not be fixable for a while. At the very least, if the plugin developers could look into a way of preventing it, that would be great. Otherwise, it just is the way it is. So now that we're inside this rock, this is where our actual base is. And I threw some stuff in here just to show you guys what it would look like. A couple chests, furnaces. Actually, come on, let me up. Let me up. I placed a little nook over here with a sleeping bag and a stair for convenience. I added a furnace and a couple chests. I also built a one-way tower that is only accessible from inside of the rock like that. And with that, I'll also show you another exploit that still works. That's what we call spider pigging. You can squeeze up between two walls that aren't connected together, or they are connected because it's a square and a triangle. This still works. I still think it's an exploit. You really shouldn't be able to do that. However, it still has to be in the video because it works. So we're going to go through the door I have placed here. Climb around the ladder, or not the ladder, the walls. Go this way. Okay, so we're in the tower now. Fly up to the top. There's a couple more bugs that I want to show you guys here that are only visible from the top. Now from here, everything looks pretty good, right? Like the water looks real nice and whatnot. That's because my graphics are on complete 100% settings. So if I turn these down, let's see, we want graphics 4, definitely want water quality 1. Shaders go down to 1. Max shadow light's 1. Shadow distance is gone. And then all of my qualities will knock down to 70%. Normally I have them between 70 and 75, so we'll just do 70. Grass quality will be 10. We're close enough to it. Okay. Oh, that's a big difference. Not only that, check this out. What the hell is that? That looks like absolute garbage. I mean, look at this. It's just freaking out. And not only that, if you look over here, stop freaking out. You can see, I don't know if that's the foam or what, but it is the same square texture over and over and over and over again, layered over each other. It looks just like Minecraft. It's the same thing over and over again, and it looks horrible. You can kind of see it on this side as well, but the ground is just clipping through the water, and it's freaking out. And I know myself, as a streamer and a recorder, I don't want to see this in the background of my videos. It's no different than when you used to look down and you used to see the matrix coming out of the ground. And that was in the game for far too long. So this needs to be addressed rather quickly. And it's not just because I have low graphics, by the way. If I set them back up to the top, which go up, up. I think you were 3. Shadows were 400. And then all these were full. If I set these to 100% graphics again, if you look closely, it still does it. It's not quite as noticeable because that foam texture isn't there anymore. Or if it is, it's very, very well hidden. But you can still see the ground clipping through the water. And if I'm streaming, like, you know, PvP, or if I'm streaming vanilla, whatever, and I see this in the background of my stream, I'm not going to be very happy. Because I want to put out the best quality stream that I can, and this isn't it. That's definitely not it. So hopefully developers see this, and they're able to fix whatever caused this, because I know, not just myself, but I'm sure other streamers are going to be quite upset about it. So it's definitely something that really should take precedence to. One last thing I have to show you guys, or two things I have to show you. The beds. People are having problems placing beds down. And in places that they used to be easily placed. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Now let's go back over here to our large platform. Oh, I need to turn my graphics down. Hold on. Let me do that. There's really no reason to have your graphics that high in the game. There really isn't. The game doesn't look good enough for to make up for the fact that the graphics are so high. There we go. Okay, so like this whole open area, this bed should go down fine. I had a blue spot there. There should be no reason why this bed doesn't go down. Oh, I had it. Oh. There we go. Yep, it's blue, but it's not going at all. Now I was able to get it here before. Come on. I know you did it before. It won't go. It just will not go down. It's turning blue, but it's just not placing the bed down. It does work for sleeping bags, so don't be afraid about putting sleeping bags down. It's just the beds themselves. And hopefully that's something that they're going to work on, because I know a lot of people like using the beds instead of the sleeping bags, so I'm sure it's going to be temporary like a lot of these bugs and exploits are. However, the one that I hope is fixed immediately is that water one. So the last thing I have for you guys is this. All the Christmas stuff that was supposedly taken out is still actually in the game. Stockings, Pookie Bear, Santa hat. Really, it's no different than the jack-o'-lanterns. Those are still in the game too. But the one thing that is still in the game is the fact that admins can still use the Xmas refill command and find a present. Find a present. Where are the presents? I know there's one around here somewhere. I heard the jingle bell. There's one. There it is. Presents still spawn in. They still give you the presents that you want, or the small presents. Ooh, I got a medium present too. They still give you the presents out of them, even though the DevBlog said that the Christmas stuff is no longer in. It still works. So anyway, oh, there's a present right here. Oh man. Anyway, so that was it for this video. Sergeant Sold. This was exploits and bugs after DevBlog 92. And if I missed anything, or I did something wrong, or etc, 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 please put it in the comment section of this video, or you can contact me on my website. There's a little icon on my banner of the channel that should bring you to the website in the contact me section. Go ahead and do that. Let me know what I missed or what I need to redo or something, and we'll try to do it for another video. So Sergeant Sold, Brick and Rust. We'll see you in the next Brick and Rust video. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching Breaking Rust, a series dedicated to exposing bugs, glitches, and exploits in the game of Rust. The idea is to get these videos into the hands of game developers as soon as possible, so please share this video to help achieve that. If you know of any bugs you'd like to have featured in an episode, please let me know in the comments below.